Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the European Challenger Series playoffs. We are now in Game 4, and this is getting pretty heated because Inspire just one win away now from actually getting into those finals next week on Tuesday. Huma need to win 2 games here. I don't want to say the second win was like a fluke win, because it wasn't. It was like well played, but it came off like that triple kill after shutting down the Jax early. Like, do they have to pull up the Jax again? Like, do they do something else? Because I still feel, maybe this is wrong, that Huma's wins come out from big plays, like coming in from the carries, where Inspire, like, they play the map well, and like they're more calculated like victories. They don't rely on one person just going huge.
So for now, what we're seeing out of Huma is that they seem to be fairly solid in a general sense. Is like, we know that their lanes tend to do okay for the most part. Yeah. Yes, in Game 1 we saw Werlib got shut down pretty heavily. But then it seemed to be Werlib that was spearheading so much of the Game 2 win. Just everything about it was like Werlib deciding to split push, Werlib going to a side lane, Werlib making the decision to push down mid with the Baron buff after the rest of his team got killed at Baron to win the game. So I feel like you've got to enable Werlib. Honestly, it sounds strange because we've talked about how Huma have 3 carries. Yeah. As good as, Godbro is playing, it feels like the carry that's going to win them the game in this series is Werlib.
Yeah. Because I used to think was just like, is it which carry is going to turn up in the game? But it seems like which carry is going to turn up in the day, right? And it's like, you've already seen that in like this best of series that it's Werlib. So put our resources in Werlib. And I kind of agree with you in this series. Like, I don't know. Because last game they opted away from it, even though they had red side. And this is the last time that Huma will have red side in this series. So if they are going to last pick the Jax here and actually make a game plan around it, like now is the time.
Now is the time, but
because it's much harder
to do it on blue side. It'd be too late if they go to Game 5, as you said. I wouldn't even really want to try it on blue side, unless you saw on first rotation it was like top lane locked in.
Right, like theoretically, I mean, we'll get there, if we come to Game 5. But if Huma do win this game, we get to Game 5, then they have to pull something else out of the bag, and it can't be something random. Like, they can't just randomly make a big play, and it can't be the Jax because obviously, blue side. So.
The series certainly isn't over, though.
No.
I mean, it's not like when you look at this and it's like, okay, Inspire have won. I think had Game 3 been Game 2, you'd probably look at it and be like, oh yeah, this series is probably done. Yeah. After how the first game went. But it's just kind of, in my mind, Huma have that capability to play in a more carry fashion from top lane and have the ability to win. So I'm not counting them out yet. It just certainly has looked rough in the early game in both of the games they've lost so far. Even in the game they won, that early game was kind of shaky. Maxlow got himself into bottom lane. They managed to get the kill in the 2v2 setup as well. For sure.
A lot of the good plays we've seen from Rudy have been very kind of like solo queue-esque. Like, being really good spears, really good follows, great mechanical plays, but I've not been like, oh, he's really read the enemy jungle well, and like done that type of like map pressure type stuff. So, I don't know. We'll see as we get into this game, but a lot of it will start with this champion select.
It has to be said that Inspire have been playing with this lineup all split long, and Huma have changed their jungler in the week between, or the 2 weeks between regular split and playoffs. Yeah. So I feel like we're seeing that effect. Not that Rudy is performing overly badly or anything like that. I just think that you can see it's not quite on the same page as the rest of the team. Yeah. There are times where Rudy's going in, where the team aren't. And they haven't seemed to have the same early game setup with Rudy as they had with Santorin either.
Because even if Santorin wasn't ganking, he was applying like pressure, he was warding for lanes,
he was passively being around.
Right, exactly. All right, so let's get into these bans real quick. So we're seeing basically what we saw in the first couple of games, just in different variations. Poppy was banned out Game 2. Kalista, Rammus, Braum was actually what Inspire have banned every single game. So if history repeats itself, it will be Braum once again. Gragas has been banned every single game so far by Huma. With Lulu, they banned Alistair in Game 1. Here's the Poppy this time.
There's the Braum.
We'll see if they bring something different out this game.
So we'd be looking at the Gragas now, if it was to remain the same. We've also seen Alistair banned, which is going to leave one of them to first pick. Gragas, Alistair, Nidalee, probably going to be the first picks.
Yeah, they like actually contesting junglers actually from both teams.
That's true.
So Nidalee as well was highly contested.
She has been.
So
still kind of expecting it to be the support though.
banned or picked?
Well, I was going to say banned, but looks like they want to take away the Nidalee. I actually think that's a smart play. Maxlaw has been looking very good on the 2 games of Nidalee that he had. Been difficult for Rudy to keep up with him. Gragas is available, though, if he wants it.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
maybe you first pick the Gragas here.
I actually think that you look at the rest of everything that's available from the jungle role. Elise is really the next on the tier list. Then you're down to like Lee Sin, Kindred, that kind of level of junglers. I'm thinking about if I've missed anybody in particular. Graves, if you want to play it.
Graves.
We've seen it once in this series.
Yep.
We saw it at IEM from Madman XG.
Yep, did very well with the pick, but difficult for people to repeat those successes, of course. All right, what else are the priorities going to be? We saw Nautilus's priority earlier. Jungle priority, it's gone down now. That, Gragas has been picked up. Yeah, Corki, a big one. Lucian maybe, even as ADC.
We've seen Corki in the first rotation
Alistair.
in 2. Oh yeah, Alistair's up. 2 of the 3 games already. So if they don't pick it up here, Inspire will pick it up for CosQ in that middle lane.
Yep.
And it is locked in.
All right.
I don't like this Nautilus.
I mean, you can flex it into support, but we rarely see that now.
I like Nautilus as a flex pick, normally in a draft, even fairly early. I just don't feel like it's working for Werlib. That's the problem with it, for me, is that I don't think Werlib his tanks has been what the team has needed from him. We talked about how they needed him on a carry in game 2. I think if they fall behind and Werlib's on a carry, that's the game done.
Pretty much. Maybe they'll flex it into support. Don't know yet. But Corki, another pick of a god, bro. I mean, mid lane has basically been alternating between like Corki and Quinn and Lissandra and like, you know.
Yeah, so is CosQ going to go for the Quinn? Are we going to play the other side of that matchup again?
3 picks we've seen in mid lane, so like it's going to be probably one of them. Lucian picked up, so another priority. Trundle coming out, so that will probably be in support. EU hasn't really picked up top lane Trundle yet, compared to other regions. Okay, Alistair's still open, so if they
we're going to keep saying that. I mean, an Alistair here...
that would puts
the Nautilus into top lane.
Yeah.
So what other options? Jungle is what we're looking for. Support if Nautilus isn't going there in mid lane. Or top. So there is still...
I still have a horrible feeling it's going to go support. I mean top lane.
Yeah. It's kind of... I have the same gut instinct. I hope it's not right. So now we get to see Huma have options. It's very tense.
It's very tense, yeah.
I'm like, I kind of want to leave these dramatic pauses.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know the track well enough though, because then you have to do it at the right times for the right build-up.
Okay. Kindred.
Kindred Sivir.
But it's... So we've got that interaction can happen again. Kindred into Gragas. Like when we talked about this initially, a lot of people were like, "Yeah, well, you know, you don't pick it for the interaction. No, you don't pick Gragas into Kindred for the interaction." But Gragas is like coincidentally a hard carry, a hard counter to the Kindred ultimate. Because you just blast everybody out. Yeah. So I know there was a lot of discussion on Twitter. I think I was watching NALCS and people were like, you don't pick it for that. Yeah. I'm like, well, it's still really
good. Nice.
It's still nice.
Because it only knocks away opponents, you can still benefit from it with your team. You just walk into the circle.
But Huma have had success on Kindred. 2 games last week.
But that was
2 weeks ago
Santorin.
With Santorin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we get to see what Rudy can do on Kindred.
I still like Sivir with Nautilus though. Like back in the day, Nautilus used to be, you know, like Righteous Glory build, and then you had the Sivir with it, even better. That is a Fiora pickup, so that would be going into top lane for Sartorius. That was a Lissandra pickup, so going into CosQ. So again, we have the variation in mid lane where you have those like 3 mid laners.
Fiora though in the top lane, we haven't seen her on 6.4 yet.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to keep in mind there was some adjustments to her E when it comes to the damage, and also her W timing has gone up, the cooldown on it.
Yeah.
I think it's only slightly, it's like maybe a second, 2 seconds.
Something like that. Early ranks I think got hit harder.
Yeah. Oh, it was actually 5 seconds at rank 1.
That's actually a lot.
That's a lot. That's actually significant. Because normally you would only take 1 point in it and just be like, that's fine.
Yeah, but
Let's
now...
take that. So that's actually a bigger nerf than I was letting on.
Come on, lock it. You did it. Okay, so All right, cool. So yeah, they actually flexed the Nautilus into support. So that is Jax going to top lane. It's against Fiora though.
I mean,
which
Jax
actually is not a good matchup.
Jax is just going to give the early game anyway.
Yeah.
Against whoever you're against.
Oh, that is next level actually.
What is this?
The Owl Champion select. Remember, you can still vote on Twitter, hashtag Kevin Owl or hashtag Unzo Owl.
As long as it's not as annoying as the owl from Legend of Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was an annoying owl. But these comps. So Huma have again, the Jax split push in the side. Now you've got Civ and Nautilus to, run at people, try and start the fight. You've got Kindred to keep everybody alive in there, and a lot of the damage that's going to come from the Corki. So there's actually 4 damage threats on Huma in this game. First time that we're seeing them run that in this series. On the other side for Inspire, well, they have the option to 1-3-1 if they get strong enough. The Lissandra, the Fiora, you have the disengage from the Gragas, the Trundle. So there's a possibility for a fair amount of map-wide play in this game. We'll see who gets ahead, who can orchestrate it in this 4th game of the series.
Well, as you're voting on the Owls, make also to vote on the teams, hashtag IE win, hashtag HMA win, depending on the team you think will take this game. It could be the last one of the series. Inspire only 1 win away, and Huma need to win this game to keep it all alive. Let's get it into a game. But yeah, this is not a good matchup really for the Jax. Like, your E is so telegraphed, riposte becomes very easy. You can lunge outside of the E range. Like, there's a lot of counterplay for Fiora. Of course, if Jax gets 2 items over you and it keeps bonking you on the head, then you're gonna die. But it's a lot harder.
We're gonna reach a point where Jax is 2 items, Fiora manages to get the 4 vitals, and they're just healing up off each other, hitting and life stealing and getting the heal off the Fiora.
That's actually true.
It's going to be a fun scenario if that happens.
Early levels will be a lot of farming, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll see whether Jax can lay down some of that damage early game.
Yeah. The other question for me is Rudy on Kindred. Like, as you mentioned, they had such success with it in week 5 with Santorin. Like, had really, really good games. But obviously, Rudy, different jungler. The team did really well with it. And so far, I've been definitely picking more aggressive picks rather than facilitating picks in this series. So we'll see how well that Kindred can do in the hands of Rudy. He's going to be starting topside as well.
But it's a lane swap from Inspire.
It is.
They want to get that... well, I assume they were looking to just try and push away the Jax in that lane, see if it ended up in standard. So Inspire actually going both people into the topside jungle forces Huma now to start later on the bottom side jungle. It's not the biggest of preventative measures right now. I mean, that doesn't hurt Huma too much, but it will slow them down to the turret on the bottom side if they want to go and get that second buff. And also note that Maxlaw started on his own red. So now either Huma have to change their pathing completely and go from wolves up into red and then back down, and that's where the extra time comes from, or they had to invade bottom side and hope red was available. It's not the case. Red wasn't available. They kind of know that already, so they'll back themselves up into top side and just be late to that tower.
I actually think that was a fast read from Huma because they backed away so that IE actually didn't even see where Huma started.
But look at this though. Inspire instantly sends Sartorius. He's only level 1 up to the turret because they're punishing this. They're punishing this red start here, and they force the teleport out from Whirlip to even this out. This is a big cost for Huma, having to now utilize that teleport just to try and catch up, because look at the difference in tower damage. This is all from Sartorius sacrificing himself to get damage on this tower, because he knows when this tower goes down, he gets all the experience from this wave. He gets everything on the bounce. So it's not going to punish him too much, and they now have teleport advantage.
Yep, there goes the tower. Now, how much can Inspire do with the momentum that they have? They'll be able to push up this wave, should be able to bounce it. Bot tower will be falling now, so we've got around 5-6 seconds at lead. Maybe actually a little bit more, yeah. So about 10 seconds now. So got a good lead from Inspire. Rudy and bot side securing that crab. That was also marked by the Kindred.
But look at the timing. Look at how much room Sartorius has had in the top side to push up, to push right into the tower. He has had so much free time compared to what you would normally see just from the ability to get up there quick. He's going to have to back away now. Maxwell's even here to start covering for him, but this is a little risky by Sartorius.
Ooh,
two tower shots.
I think he's still good though.
If Je Suis Cast was maybe with him,
maybe
have
flash
looked
hook,
to a flash
like
hook.
that. Yeah.
Riposte is there, but
now level 3.
But Sartorius is level 3, yeah, and Willib is level 2. It's not the biggest disparity, but every little helps right now.
Yeah, it really does, especially in that 1v1 matchup. Like, that is going to be incredibly pivotal to this game. I mean, whenever there's a Jax in the game, he's going to be pivotal. And yeah, getting any advances in that lane to keep the Jax contained is really big.
But look at what Inspire is setting up. Huma already reacting to this because of the way that they're sending Willib. So Inspire sending their duo lane to the top side, which means that they were looking to hold this 2v2 and then allow Fiora to freeze in the bottom side, I would imagine. Fiora wouldn't really be pushing this. If you were wanting to push, you'd put your bottom lane down there and just trade the tower. But Jax has gone top as well. I mean, Huma need to act on this and either dive with 4 people, because I don't think they can push this 3v2. They've got Rudy coming up, but so is Gragas. This isn't a push that can be done with this many people. Huma are wasting resources on the map here. They're not breaking the freeze from Fiora. They're not pushing this tower fast enough. They're not really doing much at all.
Man, they commit Rudy to top lane and Maxwell was already on the way, so yeah, they really get the short end of that stick. Mid lane is just farming away, but yeah, that was not good at all coming out from Huma.
And keep in mind, if this fight ever did kick off, Sartorius has his teleport, so they instantly make it a 4v4 by him TPing top. Not that they want to do that, because that sacrifices so much of what Fiora is trying to get here. But what we talked about was how you can, put a Jax this far behind. Get a pick that can snowball against it, like a Fiora, and put the Jax far behind at the same time. Fiora is pretty far up right now.
24 CS to 7 as well. A level advantage. In fact, Willib only just dinged 3 like a couple seconds ago while you were talking, Stress. So Sartorius is maybe over 2 levels ahead. Or just under 2 levels ahead, sorry. But yeah, Sartorius, he's still got the freeze going. That minion wave will hit the same point.
It's a level and a half right now. It's like actually a level and a half. So this is super good. And it's very difficult now for Huma to punish. Without Inspire making a big mistake and just continually pushing into 4 people, it's kind of tough. What they have done is taken Holy Phoenix down to the bottom side because of the way Sivir is going to push very quickly. It does somewhat break the freeze from Sartorius. Risky because they can punish here, and look, that's exactly what Inspire want to do. They're showing topside with an aggressive push to kind of drag Huma into a bottom side engage, and here comes the roam from CosQ. CosQ 6.
Flash over the wall, has to respect the engage from CosQ there. That was actually well timed. Willib looking for an engage. He's only level 3. They really just want the farm. I mean, Rudy's zoning them away so he can actually farm up, but he lost most of that minion wave because they were being pressured by Trundle.
And not only that, the farm he's taking is, again, splitting the experience. He's losing some of the last hits. He's not actually getting any closer, whereas Sartorius was on the bottom side, just farming himself up. Very calmly, very collected in that bottom lane. He knows the rest of his team is coming, so he only needs to engage when CosQ actually starts to use his ult. So it's pretty simple for Inspire right now after Huma just did not react to phase 2 of this lane swap properly. They're starting to catch up now, but they're going to get punished for it.
Yeah, they are starting to catch up, but not fast enough, maybe. I mean, Cass and Phoenix were trying to push that into tower so they could bounce it, but that's actually still frozen.
That's sad.
Nope. Yeah, because Maxwell came down and Wendelbo were also there to support. So what they needed was Holy Phoenix and Cass to be there for just a couple more seconds. One more Ricochet or one more Riptide would have done the job. But as it is, there's a cannon minion there, there's a bunch of minions. Mid lane, CosQ, he was looking for the W but didn't quite connect it onto the Valkyrie as he was jumping away there. So top lane's now still farming. Woolite has just been in a lane. Like, he's not had to move. He picked up the early call on his first back. He's 58 CS to 35 because there's been so many map movements from Huma trying to make something happen. Initially, the push into top lane, which they couldn't make happen because it's 3 versus 2 and then 4 versus 3. Like, it's just not going to work. Bottom lane, they tried to upset the freeze, commit more time. There's no farming coming in for Holy Phoenix. Top lane, Whirlib hasn't been able to get much, and he's been splitting experience from Rudy. Everything's been going wrong for Huma in this lane swap.
And they have to consciously now decide who do they want to give farm to, because they're still not breaking the freeze from Fiora. She's still holding it at this turret, and it means that Holy Phoenix can't push down because he's going to lose that 1v1. He's actually behind on experience to Sartorius now as well. Sartorius has been able to get himself way ahead of the game. And they want to get Whirlib into this game. They need to get Whirlib into the game, so they have to give him the farm on top side, which now Whirlib is trying to do the same top. Whirlib's trying to freeze, but if I'm Inspire, I'm like, okay, Whirlib's freezing, so let's go kill mid or bot. Yeah. Because Holy Phoenix has got to be somewhere, because he's not pushing into our Fiora. We've got good ways to catch with the Gragas, with the Lissandra.
Yep.
Let's go find him.
Alternatively, you can just push out mid and bot right now, which Sartorius is doing, and maybe even just look for a dragon or deny the Mark of the Kindred, which is up right now. Sartorius dodges out of the way of the anchor, pop the Grand Challenge, Woolite's in the bot lane as well. Lots of pressure being exerted by both teams on the bottom sides of the map, and Godbro was thinking about delivering the package, but he's going to go back into the mid lane now. We'll have to use the package at some point fairly soon, but it should be able to clear this bottom wave. Series after series has been getting better for Inspire. Rudy is chasing down Wenderbo, might be able to pick up a kill. Nope, there's the exhaust. Burns the summoner.
Got a summoner.
That is something.
It is. I mean, Inspire aren't going to be able to push this down, so they kind of broke their own freeze with Sartorius pushing, and then it actually ends up in not a whole lot. So it does mean that Whirlib has been given time on the top side of the map. He's caught up in farm, is catching up in CS as well. And there's the other fan vote.
Yeah, 57% currently to Kevin Owl. Unzo's getting a little bit wrecked currently, but there's still time. We have until this series ends. There is the Owl in question, so it is up to you guys at home, whether it's called Kevin or Unzo. I believe that's Kevin right now, who is zooming in and out on the Owl, so it is in your hands. The power is with you. And right now, power's with these teams to make something happen. Currently 0-0, 11 minutes into this game. But a lot has happened in terms of the map.
Pulse, we're going full solo queue.
Why is that?
Devourer.
On Kindred?
On Kindred.
All right.
Going for, I'm going to carry this game if it kills me. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm just going to farm up.
So this is like Huma flipping the switch, right? It's just like, who's going to carry? Everyone just try and carry the game. Max Law is dying so quickly. He'll jump off the wall. That was actually a really difficult flash to make, by the way. Oh, the red buff. It was enough to kill him. That's, I believe he was marked from Mark of the Kindred.
So, yeah.
So, all right. Rudy saying, as a declaration of intent, I'm going to pick up Devour, going to start marking people, pick up those kills, and snowball this game.
I'm not sure how I feel about Devourer.
Sartorius, you've been marked, son.
It's going to be really good if he keeps getting stacks. If he, like, somehow snowballs this game alone, he's like, anything Centaurian can do, I can do better.
Perhaps. Oh, Sartorius is pushing up. You know what this means.
It means Rudy's going to go top. No, it looks like a different one.
Right.
I didn't realize this was bird watching.
Yeah. Rudy wants the stack. Give me your stack. Oh, Sartorius, he's got the slowdown. Rudy picks up the kill, and there's another stack over to Kindred.
They're starting to punish Inspire for not reacting to the way that they were playing. I'm going to turn into David Attenborough in a sec.
It's not an owl.
And here we see the native rift squirrel.
The rift squirrel. I like it.
So Huma are punishing Inspire for pushing out, and Inspire are just making plays that they're in areas of the map that aren't warded, that they're not really safe in, and it's very easy kills for the likes of a Kindred and a Jax. It's like, good luck ever getting away.
Yeah.
Leap strike, counter strike, just lock them down, get the kill. So from what was a great start to the game from Inspire, this has actually started really heavily going Huma's way. Yeah. And considering they have 4 carries, we've just reached an important part of the game, Pulse.
Is it Gwinsu time?
It's
I
Rage
think it
Blade
is.
time. Maxlaw is trying to get wards down. I don't know how I feel about him pushing so far in. He does now have Sartorius with him, so... There we go. I was going to say, clear that pink ward. But now it comes at the price of having a dual Rudy, and Sartorius went up to the top side.
Bot lane engage, Holy Phoenix. Warlight unfortunately does not have a spell shield, but they'll be backing off to the turret. When Obo was there, I don't think they knew there was 2 people there, and in the 2 versus 2 with
they
low
want to
mana,
get
Holy
Jax.
Phoenix didn't quite want it. Warlip is
damage.
stacking up. He needs to hit someone to keep the stacks alive. Knocks him away. Actually, I think the stacks have worn off, so he can't fight anymore. Rudy is now in the top lane.
Hi, it's Rudy.
Slow with the E, but Body Slam will get Maxtor away. I think he's good to go.
Yeah.
That was really well played, by the way, from Inspire. Chaining CC so they can drop the stacks from Warlip, meaning he can't fight anymore.
Yeah, and then, you know, getting out of Counter-Strike using the barrel, too.
Yeah.
So not only does it help them get the stacks down, but helps them get away from any kind of a lockdown. Sartorius is being very sneaky.
He's on top of a ward, so...
Yeah, but look, it's better if you just say he's being very sneaky.
I got it. Warlip is quite low. Oh, no, he's used
Oh,
Blue Strike.
Warlip.
And
Actually, no, he wasn't.
Grand Challenge lands. Respite will keep him alive. And there's no ultimate to knock them outside of it just yet. Warlip will pick up the first kill. Rudy jumps onto Gragas and picks up 1 in return.
That was a really rough timing to go back in. What Sartorius, I think he'd predicted Lamb's Respite to have worn off and just couldn't get it, and the heal came off as he was going aggressive. That was just a mistime by Sartorius, I think.
Bot lane trading away. I also said 1 in return, but... Oh. Yeah, I didn't have vision of the bush.
Also, Rudy was like,
I'm like
away. 500 health. Like, I don't want to back away bot lane.
And Cass is dead, pretty much. Warlip teleports into the bottom side. Holy Things can only really offer auto attacks at this stage. Warlip is dropping off stacks, and now he'll back away. That was a kill onto Cass and nothing in response. I said the kill and return to top lane because I thought that was a 1-for-1. I didn't realize it was 2v0'd them.
Yeah, it was 2 for nothing.
Yeah.
Also, I believed you when you said Sartorius was on a ward.
Yeah.
He was not on a ward. He
What
was
was
being
it then?
sneaky. It was the Fiora blade.
Was it the owl? Oh, no.
Yeah, the owl actually is like a passive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bot lane being pushed in here from Inspire. That will be going down. 2-2 towers now. Huma are still in the lead. And this is kind of the reverse of like game 1, where Inspire were just constantly getting picks all over the map. And then Huma just like couldn't do anything because it was like pick into objective, pick into objective.
Look at how the game's turned though. Sartorius pushed out in the bottom lane to try and punish the freeze top side from Warlip. Warlip was trying to hold a wave, so Inspire go, okay, let's shift the aggression and push forward with things now. Let's go aggro onto mid and bot, try and push out. And it gets punished super, super hard because Jax just got the farm. Jax is ahead in farm. Jax is even on levels as well. So like he's got to a point where he's just pretty strong and can actually duel effectively now with that Gwinsu's completed.
He also picked up early Swifties, which he didn't do last game. He just sat on like tier 1 boots until like 3 items, and then went Lucidity boots because like he wanted the extra cooldown on like teleport flash, I believe, and then didn't even go for like any tenacity. This time he'll be resistant to more of those slows, but yeah, actually interesting to see him pick up this one earlier into the game. Also unfortunate because he was like 0-0-4 because every single time like Rudy's picked up the kill because he's slightly better
Hi,
at
it's
chasing.
Rudy. Devourer only.
Yeah.
Kills only.
Ooh, so much damage onto Cosq. He has his ultimate, he'll pop it, but I don't think there's anyone really in range to help him out. Rudy will take him out.
Another one.
Was that a stack?
Kills only.
Was that a stack?
No, he's got Trundle as his target.
Okay.
But Rudy's jungle only, kills only right now.
Devour everything. 5-0-0.
I mean, it's Devourer stacks, of course, but...
we should also...
He's on 11.
He's on 11
He's on
stacks.
11, yeah.
That's a lot of stacks for like 17 minutes in. We've seen like Kindreds at like 30 minutes have like 4. Because I just haven't been able to get into the enemy jungle.
I'm talking about Devourer stacks.
Oh, okay. I was going to be like...
Sorry.
I was like, 11 stacks already! Insanity!
Right. I will double check though exactly how many stacks he has.
Nope, that's Hunter's Picker,
it's
mate.
4. I was hovering over. Sorry, this is where I wear contact lenses on Broadcast Pulse because my eyesight is really bad. I'm just here peering into the screen. It's my excuse and I'm sticking to it.
Alright. Ship the excuse. Who's this going to go to? Of course. gonna go to Whirler. Rudy's like, yeah, I picked up all the kills. You can take the Rift buff.
Maybe it'd be an upgrade if I just didn't wear my... Oh, contact.
Cause Q doesn't have his ultimate, does have his
Rocket?
E. Rocket? Oh! The Biscuit actually saved him, I think. Maybe he would have... I think he might have still lived, but...
I think it was like 30, 40 health.
Okay, all
by the
right.
looks of
Still
it.
would have been
I mean,
close.
he was ticking up. Yeah, it was close.
Yeah. Oh.
Feels bad.
Biscuit saved lives. 1 and 5 currently in this game. Huma can definitely make this a win. And Ajax is...
Huma can definitely make this a win.
Yeah, like I was trying to get to the end of the sentence, and I was just like, how do I English this into something that makes sense?
How do I English?
And I kind of got there, but you got the gist. Flash E, Holy Phoenix is just detonated on the spot. He's not going anywhere.
Honestly, that's kind of how the whole series has been for him. I was expecting Holy Phoenix to be one of the more carry players in this series, and he's honestly got blown up a lot. Not necessarily for his own fault. Inspire have gone, Holy Phoenix, get him! And gone in with like a Gragas and gone in with a dive comp, and they just blow him up. So it's not always his fault about it. I just haven't seen him in team fights too much.
Yeah,
he gets focused down super, super hard.
So I don't know if it is his fault or not, because like remember, lots of poke coming out from Godbro, but like I remember like Forgiven, he almost like never gets hit by skill shots. He's got these great reactions and always has great positioning. And if we just had this composition which just like just unloaded every ultimate they had on him and just killed him repeatedly, and then he still won because they invested so many resources. Top lane, 1v1, Rudy and Kozq predicts where the E's gonna go. Sartorius now chasing after. That's a Lamb's Respite, but trying to get his own healing circle down. Rudy should be dropping here to Sartorius. One last lunge, and he'll be going down. There's Wendelbo being chased out by his Sweet Cats. The Flash and the Dredge line. Godbro lining him up for another rocket. Oh, again! They survive from the rocket. He just needs like something else in that rocket. More gunpowder, like a nail attached to the end, like some more extra damage.
Just strap like a bayonet on the end of a rocket. Oh, that'd
Any
be
extra
deadly.
damage, like, ugh.
Why has nobody thought of... No, don't go. I'm not going into that question. That's... I need a moment's silence, Pulse.
Why?
Lest we remember changes of days gone past. I mean, you can play-by-play this fight.
Okay, alright. Maybe we need a moment of silence as Max Law is now dead.
Yeah.
Gragas will be falling over. That's a little bit sad. What's the build from World of this game? Oh, gonna be Titanic Hydra again?
Yeah, it will be.
Okay, what's the moment of silence?
Moment of silence for Sartorius build. No longer can you change between Ravenous Hydra and Titanic Hydra for free.
Yeah. All right,
We hardly knew you. It's gone. Now we forget. It goes into the pile of Heart of Gold, Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah.
Force of Nature, all of these things that are gone.
So I'll be honest, like we actually didn't see that too much in the last couple of weeks. People did it a lot, like when people realized, oh, this is great. The components of Titanic Hydra are so good, and then I can combo really well. And then people were just like, actually, it just synergizes really good with. We're not going to mention it.
Yeah, well, we are.
That synergizes really well with Black Cleaver, and actually we'll just keep it like this build. And then Fiora's just kind of left it like that anyway. So now that it got removed, it's nice. Now that it got removed, people were just like, well. It's actually not the biggest hit in the world. I was doing this anyway, so yeah, not too bad.
There's going to be that one guy out there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Who's
We
just
did
like,
it every game.
my builds!
Yep.
Built it on every champion.
And then he just becomes a Riven main instead.
I never needed Titanic anyway.
No. Let's go Black Cleaver first. Whatever, man.
Wendelbo.
He's good. He's good.
Devourer's fully stacked. Sated. And we have a pause.
My tiers are fully stacked.
My tiers are fully stacked. Rest in peace.
We do have a pause.
Out of gold.
So, yeah, that's the reason exactly. We have a pause real quick, so we're just waiting to see what it is. But luckily, we have the players on site, so we can get that all fixed up super quickly. Because usually we're online and we can't send people, around.
But for those of you astute
what's happening
viewers that will be like, wait, I didn't see a pause. We are still running with a bit of delay.
Yeah.
Just so that we can see to some issues if they ever arise. So As soon as we have an update, we will be heading back into the game. But that is not the case just yet. He's stuck with us. And
yeah, so I did have an update.
Oh, you
apparently,
haven't?
yes.
Okay.
So I believe Rudy was having some problems, had some like latency issues or
Okay.
something. So we're just investigating that.
Is it that he's like, my Devourer didn't stack fast enough?
Yeah,
only
it's,
just
I should have
sated
9
now.
stacks by now.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe. Maybe lacking behind on his
Maybe
stacking
like me,
efficiency.
he like needs glasses and he's like trying to read his stacks.
Yeah, and it's just like, is this a 4 or a 9?
40. This is where it's actually like, you know, Nasus, where it cuts off the
yeah,
third
the 2
number.
numbers and doesn't go to 3 digits. Yeah.
Well, I've either
Maybe.
got 60 stacks or 600. Let's try.
Yeah.
It's worse when it's an enemy
Pause,
one.
I just need to check this real quick.
Yeah.
Ref, like, get in here.
If you ever run up to an enemy Nasus, you've clicked him and he's like, ha, he's hardly farming
Yeah,
at
he's only
all.
got
It says
60 stacks.
Bam.
It just one shot you. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh, there's a 0
Yeah.
missing.
I bought a ZZ rot against Nasus the other day. You may have seen me tweet about it. It was not a good experience.
No.
Like, no,
Seems
because
horrible.
yeah, because like Leviathan was telling me, yeah, you know, he gets like capped on like CDR anyway because you hit the minions, but they all come to you like low health, and like if you're not hitting the minions, you just sit in front of the portal, and if the minion wave is like being pushed up, you just sit there and just like Q, and it's like, well, I've made a terrible mistake.
Okay, it looks like our issues have been resolved with regards to any connection issues, so.
I also went high with that game and he just one-shot my turrets. That was also
As long as
depressing.
it's better than Divisio's Nasus, like.
That is true.
Because
That's follow me, boys.
Divisio, who built ZZ Rod banner, maxed E and didn't stack a Q even when he could.
Actually
So,
triggered.
God.
We did win that game though. So
Yeah,
it's all good.
just. I mean, no thanks to 0 stacks Nasus. Apparently, Nasus didn't only skip leg day; he skipped gym day in general.
And math class apparently.
Oh dear.
Anyway, enough ragging on Division. We do that a lot on
We
Challenger.
do. I feel
like,
bad.
we even have like lower thirds just ragging on him, but it's all good. We love you,
because we
Division.
love him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the British way of showing affection. But anyway, so Sata Devourer now. Rudy's in a pretty good position. Remember that we haven't actually seen ranged junglers pick up Sated for a while, but it does it every 4. Like you double up every 4 auto attacks versus 2, because this was before like Kindred got introduced and like Cogmore. So imagine like Cogmore every 2 auto attacks. Just be actually disgusting.
Yeah, that would be disgusting.
But yeah, so Kindred every 4 auto attacks will double up, and the percent damage will be doubled up on that one. I actually wonder if Rudy will opt to a different item build. I know I cut you off there, but
No,
if he'll go for like Wit's End or something to double up on Sated, or just go for like the normal item build, which is like Rapid Fire Cannon or you know, like Sterax, like anti-burst build.
He could be going Sterix with the setup that he's got. So you didn't cut me
Last
off.
time I said that,
I
he
mean,
went
yeah,
for
that's true. It was like QSS
Yeah.
and then just a long sword.
Gunblade.
or something
It was
else.
just like,
oh yeah, it was
oh.
Gunblade. Gunblade, and he just like
So
held the
I've been
ruby
fooled
crystal.
before, so never again.
You didn't cut me off too much. I was just gonna laugh because every time you said double up, I had visions of Kindred turning into Misfortune, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
actually meant that like your autos started bouncing. I'm like, that would be OP.
That would be.
Can you imagine, like, so, you know, there's always those threads of, if one champion had this ability from another champion, who would be
Yeah.
the most OP? Double up, but with, like, niddly spears. So that if you hit one
No
spear,
thanks.
it's just, like, it hits a second. Sorry,
Stuff
that's
of
completely,
nightmares.
like, off topic. And we are seeing Inspire push the middle lane. They're getting this turret. There is no chance of holding that. But bottom lane, look at the response. Wards have been placed all the way around the bot side, and now, I was going to say Huma want to push up to the turret, but they do not want to dive that Fiora, apparently.
Yeah, it's difficult because they're on a timer, right? Because
Yeah.
Inspire can pressure Baron, they can push up the top lane, they're actually just going to go straight
This is
onto
not a
the
worth
Baron.
trade. Like,
So, Willip's going to take away the dragon.
okay, they can stop Inspire. Okay, I thought for a sec that Rudy was going to stick at the dragon. They actually
Yeah.
did dragon it incredibly quickly. Had that actually been the trade, that was not worthwhile for Huma. So they get the dragon, they stop the Baron.
Yeah, that would be such an overcommitment from Inspire because Willip had teleport. Actually, did Willip have teleport? I can't tell. That's a tiny sliver of extra cooldown.
Or is it?
Or is it just...
I will
the
check on
screen?
my screen.
Okay. I think it's up.
No, it's up now.
All right, okay, so I wasn't,
So
I
they
wasn't
didn't
blind.
have teleport.
All right, cool.
See, this is why you need to lean into the screen.
That is
Pulse.
true, yeah.
Like, that's how I actually cast with my nose pressed against the screen.
Oh,
so I
okay.
actually only get the
I was
middle
wondering
of
why
the
you're doing
screen.
that.
I
All
know,
right.
right? It means I just kind of neglect everything that
Yeah.
observers don't put in the middle. It's great. Somebody out there is going to actually think that that's the case.
Yeah, Rudy Wolf follows him over the wall. He'll flash over. He really wants this kill, but the pillar keeps him in place. Just Cass and the rest of the team are just destroying everyone on Cosq's team. Inspire just having to run away. Maxlaw trying to get to this tower real quick. Cosq went down, and now the siege into the mid lane. Huma are thinking about sieging this turret, but they'll actually just turn around and peel back onto Baron. I mean, jungle is still up. But Maxlaw goes back to base.
For Inspire, with no teleport as well. 25 seconds means that Huma do have the numbers here. Teleport coming out from Sartorius from the middle lane. Looking to go aggressive. I think Huma could take this fight if they pick one decision here.
Still on the
pick
Baron.
One objective and go for it.
Oh, Whirlip jumps out of the way of Sartorius' riposte. Now he turns around, but the Grand Challenge should be able to take him out. No, Whirlip responds with the kill instead, looking for the last order like on Maxlaw. He still takes down Trundle. This is ridiculous damage out from Jax. And again, this time, he stays alive.
For the third time in a series, Whirlip is below 50 health and is just able to auto himself back up to full health, or back up to just enough to stay alive during these little trades. They didn't get the Baron in the end, which is, a saving grace for Inspire. But look at Huma actually split decision here. Whirlip is trying to just chunk down the Baron as much as possible. Then they know they have to fight. It was a little bit late, perhaps, on the fight call, but look at Whirlip, how low he goes here. He desperately wants to get Maxlaw here, but it's a great flash out from Max to keep himself alive. But it wasn't enough. Whirlip still managed to take down Wendelboe at that point, and that was the end of that fight. Huma started really heavily to tip this in their favor now.
Yeah, that was so close. Baron was sub 2,000 health in that fight as well before they turned around. Maxlaw looking for an engage. That's the ultimate onto Cass, but he's actually fairly tanky at this stage. Rudy, Holy Phoenix, and Cass all get CC'd up, but the Lamb's Respite keeps two of them alive. Cosq is zoning away with the Zhonya's, and Whirlip is split from the team, and it's 1v5. He's still alive somehow, and picks up one kill before he goes down. Cosq is one auto attack away from death, and Rudy will finish him off with Dance of Arrows. God, bro, he just needs one rocket, but I've said that before, and it hasn't finished them off, and this time he won't land it. A 2-for-1 over to, actually a 2-for-2. My mistake. And so even trade for both teams.
Even trade, but what a good path into that fight for Cosq. Getting on to 4 people, practically getting so much damage down. I want to take another look because Rudy's ultimate is what saves Huma from this. Max used the Gragas barrel to get people further into the fight, which is fine at that point. Rudy then gets his ult down after Holy Phoenix is dead, so Rudy's the only one there, and there's actually no damage going on to them, so there's no real threat of dying inside the ultimate, but it's still enough to force Inspire to back away, and this is where the fight turns back in favor of Huma, but you can see how much attention Whirlip is demanding in these fights.
Still, Huma are ahead in this game, if ever so slightly. 11-6 in kills, but in terms of gold, about 600 ahead. Those crits are so much damage from God, bro. It's difficult to itemize, obviously, because it's split between AD and AP. AP crits are quite strong, and Huma are turning onto Baron, but look at the clear. Whirlip is destroying this Baron so fast, but IE are in range to respond. Sartorius' riposte has been burnt. That is actually fairly significant, and this will stop Huma from starting the Baron. Riposte will be back up anyway. I think GodPro just angered the Baron quickly with a rocket to put some damage onto Inspire. And now Inspire will start it.
Inspire going to start it. Oh no.
This could be a dig
This
Baron.
is how it all goes wrong.
Yeah.
They've taken so much damage.
So much damage from the Baron, so much damage from the poke. Cosq jumps in, pops the ultimate on Rudy, and actually knocks him out of the Lamb's Respite. Great ultimate by Maxlaw. There's the interaction we were talking about, and Cosq will be going down, but Rudy and Whirlip also drops. I'm not sure what caught him out there. And that was a 2-for-1 in favor of Inspire.
I think it was being in the middle of 4 people is what took him out there. That Lamb's Respite actually kept Cosq alive for longer than it did anything for Huma, because the Gragas ultimate blasted Kindred out of the Respite radius we saw. I think we're going to hopefully have another look at that fight, because I kind of want to see exactly what did take out Whirlip, but there is a lot of action around this Baron right now, and this is a bit problematic for these teams, because we always talk about if you just try and force Baron all the time, it doesn't really show signs of good shot calling, and especially with so many blue trinkets available, it's impossible to just start a Baron, commit to it, and get it.
So these last, like, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes have all just been focused around the Baron. And it's generally been like, you know, small trades, like a 2-for-2 or a 2-for-1, that type of thing. At some point, one team's just going to get like a 4-for-1 and Baron, and then the game's just going to end. Like, it's kind of on a nice edge because it can go 50-50, and Huma can't just keep going for that. They, you know, like, they don't want a game 4 in a best of 5 to be a 50-50.
No, you don't want it to be a 50-50, and Willip just got more difficult to kill. Ooh, that's a really important dragon to go away to Inspire now. It's going to slow down any prospect of 5th dragon. Willip just got Hysterics. Let's play Game Pulse. Bilgewater Cutlass. Gunblade or Blade of the Ruined King? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Do you go with the knowledge you have from Game 2, where it was Gunblade, which
or do I go
is somewhat unorthodox? Or do you go for what you think makes more sense in Blade of the Ruined King?
I'm going to go with my head here. I'm going to go with Blade of the Ruined King.
That's cheating because you just picked up a dagger.
God damn it! Like, I was actually thinking about this because I was looking at Inspire.
Time has expired.
Like, look at all the health they have.
It's expired. Your guess is invalid.
And now he sells it and just picks up, like, Wit's End.
Oh, dear. He sells the boots by his Berserker Greaves.
He's like, all right, I see you, Willip. Okay. That was another Baron attempt by Inspire, by the way, but I've kind of stopped mentioning them at this point because it happens every, like, 20 seconds. Like, someone just goes towards the Baron, it's like, gonna hit this.
There has been almost as many Baron attempts as there have been owls in this game. And now that I've said that, I know the observers already have an owl lined up. And there's going to be a pip in like 3, 2, 1. There's the owl. Oh! I gave them enough time. Yeah. That's the same kind of cheating as you saying Blade of the Ruined King after dagger.
Owl per minute raised.
OPM.
The OPM.
Oh, that's a lot closer to something else.
Yeah, it is.
Although that wasn't... you'll never understand this, but I'm sure Trevor, if I talk about... I'm sure that was a band in the 90s.
Where are we going?
A song. They were like a one-hit wonder song. Trevor probably is going to get that. Oh. Okay,
zoned about. Inspire is still on the Baron, by the way. It's about 4,000 health, so Huma have to go in now. Just so he cast, pops the ultimate, Cosq jumps into the backline. That's actually a really good ultimate. Lamb's Respite goes down a little early. Sartorius now jumping onto Rudy. He'll take him down. Flashes in. Godbro will take him out in return. Willip's in the back lines. He doesn't quite pick up the kill, but Holy Phoenix, this is his time to shine. There's the double kill. Gets a big crit onto 3 targets with the Ricochet. A 4-for-2. And Huma, they might be able to take a couple towers off of this.
Yeah, they should get Inhibitor from this. When you look at the death time, is 40 seconds across the board here for Inspire, and it's only the support left up. Holy Phoenix is saying, don't worry about this, guys. I'm just going to tank it up, and we're going to keep pushing. This is going to be the Inhibitor for sure. That is going to give Huma the ability to back away and then look to take the Baron finally. This has been a very back-and-forth game. Both teams have tried to commit for Baron in really bad situations. I can't really sugarcoat it. If you're only trying to go for Baron and without preparing anything, it's not a good setup. And Huma finally are the ones that come out ahead from that.
Can they actually take Baron though? Because Inspire just came up.
Inspire are going to rush it. Look, Fiora just TP's.
Wendelbo has done a really good job of stalling out Holy Phoenix.
Yeah.
And with the TP coming into Sartorius,
double TP.
That is a 3rd pillar coming out on Holy Phoenix. I think is actually caught out here.
He's trying to just give him the runaround.
He's already used his ultimate. He doesn't have any summoners. He goes down, and that was all from Wendelbo stalling them out.
Look at where Rudy tried to come across to D-Ward at least, and he knows he's got to back away. So that was just really good by Wendelbo to slow him down. I thought that was going to be Huma getting out scot-free from that. But, man, that's now huge for Inspire. Inspire can now look and turn their attention to this Baron here. I mean, Huma weren't going to pick it up straight away. They would have had to have recalled and come back in. Now it's on Rudy. Can he steal this Baron away? It's a 4 versus 5.
They're turning on Willip. Pops the E. There's a grand challenge. He's got no way to get out of it. Godbro also caught out. He will pop the cleanse, but it's too much damage, too many slows, and too many IE members around him. That's another 2 pickups, and now Baron should almost certainly be going down unless Rudy can pull off the steal of the century.
No vision
But
now.
there's no vision, and there is too many people in that pit just able to shove him away. Maxor even had his ultimate regardless, so that's Baron going down over to Inspire. And yeah, we're just going to see Whirlo getting just straight up caught out. There's a really good turn from Inspire, all turning around at the same time.
The problem here is this fight is happening while CosQ is holding the rest of Huma back on the bottom side. This was a pincer attempt from Huma that got out-pincered.
Yeah.
They kind of like gripped around one side and kind of held Huma in place with CosQ. And from there, like, Huma just could not fight that. They didn't have Holy Phoenix available. They couldn't really get themselves around that Baron pit. And Whirlib just is going to die. If he has to go against 4 people on his own, Whirlib is dead.
Yep.
There's no way he can deal that much damage, even with the Blade of the Ruined King completed.
All right, final item. We have the first component. It is a ruby crystal. And Starix has already picked up.
Starix is picked up, so
Black Cleaver's
not a GA.
never really picked up. It's not a GA.
Although I would probably like to see a GA, actually.
Maybe.
Maybe Spirit Visage. You've got Blade of the Ruined King.
Yeah, extra healing's nice.
Got the, yeah. Trying to think, what else? It could just be like a Giant's Belt item. Warmogs. I'm just going to get this passive regeneration every time I'm not in combat.
Yeah, like
go in, hit, back away. Go in, hit, back away.
So his problem is like jumping into 5 people and just dying. Like maybe Guardian Angel is the right choice, but I don't
it's
know.
not coming out of a ruby crystal. I'm just going to sit on this ruby crystal for a while.
Yeah. It's the most efficient item I can pick up in this slot until I get to Guardian Angel. So yeah, here comes the siege. They just picked up bottom turret, and did they get the inhibitor turret?
It's going to be a banner of command.
I don't think so. Yeah, they got it actually.
It's going to be a banner, because he's going to put the banner in one side and then split on the... This is just me,
ultimate split
talking
push.
about anything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of items that could be pulsed.
Yes, out of Ruby
the
Crystal.
moral of the story.
But this is just another siege. Both teams got to be so careful, because this actually could be the game-winning and series-winning push coming in from Inspire here, Stress. And that would secure their spot to the finals.
And not only a spot in the finals, if you make it to the finals, you are guaranteed the spot in the promotion tournament.
Yep.
That is what is on the line between these two teams. A win in this series guarantees you a shot at the LCS.
What a good culling from Warlight. That actually single-handedly just got them the inhib, because he zoned up Rudy, got the full channel onto him. And I actually thought we were going to see way more Lucian ultimates just, you know, a little shy of hitting their target because of the range nerf. There's like 200 range, but all of these have been hitting the mark, and that was really good from Warlight. Now going on to Dragon, no chance that Huma's ever going to get 5 now.
No.
Baron's not even up. Like, I don't know what Huma do in this situation now.
Inhib's coming up for Inspire, but Baron buff is expiring itself, so they have to utilize Whirlib. He is the key to winning this game right now for them. Is he has to be able to have the freedom to push up, and that means that Huma have to play somewhat together with the rest of their team. The difficulty there is you'll have CosQ dealing with one wave, you'll have Sartorius dealing with the other, and then they can collapse pretty easily. Huma somehow have to find a 4 versus 3 fight.
Not a culling.
Not a lot of damage, but again, it forces a Sivir ult. It's a short cooldown on both of those ultimates, but it's a window now where Huma cannot really catch up to a fight quick enough.
Or disengage from a fight that they want to be in.
It's a QSS it went into.
Okay.
Makes
Wait a minute.
sense. Wait.
All right. That doesn't even build from...
that's
doesn't build from Ruby Crystal at all.
So he was sitting on a Ruby Crystal just for nothing.
Williv's actually trolling us.
That's funny.
Okay, so Inspire pushing down this middle lane now. Sartorius in this 1-4. What's Whirlib doing?
I'm a little surprised Whirlib hasn't got Distortion.
I'm a little surprised Whirlib isn't defending the base.
I mean, he knows he has to create enough pressure elsewhere.
Yeah.
So that as long as they don't take critical damage, he can continue to go. Here comes the teleport from the side from both top laners. This is almost the same kind of play we saw in Game 2.
He needs to come in from behind and get a good counter-strike. Lands on the 3 people. This is actually looking very good for Whirlib. Will be bounced back. He'll flash into Warlight, pick up the first kill. I don't think they have enough damage to deal with Whirlib now. Sartorius comes into the fight. Good Lamb's Respite coming out. Whirlib looking for another CC up onto Santoris. Santorius, Maxwell will be getting away with his life. The happy hour keeps him alive. And a 3-4-0. Huma are pushing down the middle lane. And I actually think they might be able to finish here. There's no carries to stop this from happening. The middle inhibitor is respawned, and they have a minion wave coming in. All they need is someone to tank the tower and that one lone half-health minion to stay alive.
Just the minion plus the wave that comes in. Look at the death time is still 30 seconds on Sartorius and on Woolite. They've caught Wendelbo.
Wendelbo's caught. He's dead. He's down. Maxlaw is full health, but
that's it.
He doesn't have his ultimate. He will be getting it in a couple seconds, but there's nothing they can do. There's the ultimate, and Huma will be securing this game. What a team fight to secure it. Huma even up the series 2-2 and keep the final dreams alive.
Oh my goodness, we are really down to it now, heading into game 5 between these two teams. Man, Inspire were looking so good for so long in that game, but ultimately, again, it's the same thing as game 2. One fight where you just didn't quite get the ward behind you cleared out. It's a good teleport play out from Werlib on the Jax, stuns 3 people, kills a bunch of people, the rest of the team clean up, and that's the end of the game.
That was so stressful. Like, getting towards the end of the game, like, that bottom lane push, if someone had died there, if, like, Rudy had died, that would just be the end of the game, and then, like, Huma would be out of the series. Like,
yeah.
That was absurd how close that was. Like, Starrick's popping, being inches away from death, and then, like, a good team fight happening. I thought, like, maybe Werlib was, like, a couple centimeters too far from the fight, wasn't able to get in range. But Huma just played that last team fight so exquisitely. Like, they pushed them out of their base. They allowed Werlib to get in range. They all grouped up in, like, a small pack to allow the Counter-Strike to land on 3 people. It was a good pillar to, like, interrupt him, but man, there was so many small things that went on in that fight. We're probably going to look at it at the start of the next game as well, but yeah, that was,
I mean,
so many emotions went into that game.
Huma are living and dying with Werlib.
Yeah.
Their hopes for the LCS have been on Werlib's shoulders, which might sound unfair to say to the rest of their players, but the thing that has won both of the games in this series is Werlib's Jax.
Yep.
And I think going into game 5, they may not have the opportunity to do it. They're on blue side.
Yep.
And it can be banned away from them. So
it's way easier to it's way easier to ban it away on red side. There's less things you need to priority ban, and yeah, you don't have the counter pick as last pick as well. So it's harder to like flex into your composition. So yeah, there's a lot of questions that need to be answered as we get into the last game. So with that game, we are tied to a piece. So while the teams get set up for our last game, we're going to head to a quick break. So we'll be back in 3.5.